Hey, what's up guys? I was searching through YouTube and I realized not really a lot of videos on the mechanics of crouching outside of crouch canceling and your initial dash out of crouch. Although I do see a lot of players implement it. If you're not super ingrained in Melee, it's going to be kind of hard for you to figure out why people are doing it. So I figured I would just make a quick video on some of the stuff I've been learning, as well as just general tech you can implement that I haven't seen a lot of videos on. If you guys do enjoy these kinds of videos, make sure to sub, it's always appreciated, and all that jazz. Just a quick disclaimer, this controller is completely vanilla, including this button. This is like a Smash 4 button. I like those kinds of buttons more. But it's a Japanese white controller motherboard with all the regular buttons except the Y. So if you think I'm using notches or if I'm having some special controller, it's literally like the ones you guys have at home. I'll have a couple videos linked in the description based on crouch canceling and stuff. If you don't understand crouch canceling, make sure to go watch those first. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about some of the stuff outside of that. Things like run canceling, you see them used all the time, but a lot of players generally don't have a good resource for learning how to do them. I'm going to show you here what a run cancel is and how to do it. Pretty straightforward. You probably teach your cat to do it. All you do is run and then crouch. So you can just quarter circle down, right? If you look at my stick, you even have leeway, right? If I do that and I go all the way down like that, you're still good. As long as it's like down in this area. See? All you're doing is canceling your run with a crouch. So what that's good for is if you're running and you want to do something like not a dash attack, right? Some characters like Marth have good dash attacks, but they're niche. You don't want to use them all the time. So what you're going to want to do instead is maybe jab or down tilt. And so what you can do is crouch, let go of crouch, and then just use the move. If you're looking at my stick right now, or the input display, I'm holding down and then letting go, and then after I've let go, I press the button. That's getting the jab out. So you don't have to do just jabs. You can do down tilt, F tilt, up tilt. Oh, I'm pretty bad at up tilt. Like that. Or you can do smash attacks, which are by far the easiest. All you do is just C stick button, right? You don't have to really think about it. Lots of players do this. So second thing I'm going to go over is what you can do out of crouch. So most people when they play this game, they assume you can only do a handful of things like down smash, tilts, that sort of thing. And we've already shown you that you can just literally cancel the crouch, so it's pretty easy. Not a big difference. But what a lot of people don't know is you can actually run out of crouch. And you know, I'm not sure how the new games treat this because I don't play a lot of Ultimate. So this isn't really my forte, but you can dash out of either direction with crouch. And that's really important because that basically tells you that crouching is just definitively better than standing in a lot of scenarios. A lot of people would otherwise just think that all you need to do is crouch and then let go and do stuff, when you can simply just do whatever you want. As long as you know how to dash at a crouch, you can do a lot more options with it. So a lot of newer players understand that, or at least they think that if you're crouching, you're pretty much defenseless behind you. So like in this situation, if I was like a low-level Fox player, I'd be like, oh, this Marth is literally hopeless. And although they are disadvantaged, you know, you think they're only going to be able to back air. You can simply, you know, do something like that, and that can be pretty effective at retaliating against an approaching attack. Alright, so something I forgot to mention in the original take of this video is that not only that you can run out of crouch and do your action, you can do a grab. So if you've ever jump cancel grab, and you're just pressing Y and Z at the same time, you can do that out of crouch. Right, so that's just something I thought I'd bring up. Forgot to explain that. I've shown you that you can crouch run and run into crouch, and so it only makes sense that you can run, crouch, run. Oops. So what you saw just now where I messed up is the turnaround animation. So if you don't know how to play this game or you're new, basically each character can cancel their dash with another dash, but it can only be canceled in the part of their initial dash. So this is your initial dash. If you just flick the stick and you do the quick run, all of that is your initial dash. If you hold the stick, you start running. You see how his legs start running? That kind of signals that when you turn around, you're not going to be instantaneously turning around. You're going to have a turnaround animation. And this is a pretty bad animation to be in. The only thing you can do is jump, which although you can do stuff out of it, watch this. I'm going to try and dash attack after I turn around. If you see my input display, I'm mashing the A button and I can't do anything. It limits your options heavily, and it's very, very favorable to avoid it being in turnaround. So what you can do instead is run, crouch, run forward, and then dash back. If you're looking at my stick in the top left, I'm going to slow it down for you. So I'm running, and then I'm running forward, and then dashing right and then left. You can do this the opposite way too, right? So you can go like, let me try and get a better scenario. There we go. See? So if I'm like, you know, if you're overshooting something, you don't want to do that. What you want to do instead is something like that. So that basically will give you more options outside of your initial dash. You're basically by default going to be left with easier access to more options when you're in this part of your dash. In cases like Marth, if you're overreaching your dash and you want to dash back, maybe you're facing a falcon that's running at you, you can stuff it with a nair and do something like that. If you're Fox, what you can do is if you're just crouching, you know, maybe you can, you know, maybe if you're running this way and somebody expects you to simply back air or not even just throw an aerial out, you know, your dash is far over. So as long as you haven't been using it a ton, you can spam this option and it could be great. But if you're spamming it, your opponent's going to adjust. So it's simply another option to let you use drill. Maybe, you know, use an air. If you can crouch, if you can do a backdash out of crouch, then that's probably more favorable. I'm not super good at backdash out of crouch on controller, so I prefer to do this because it's a little bit easier and it's not super intensive, or it's not as difficult. So yeah, there's not really too much else for me to go over here. I just wanted to showcase this cool tech. It's not super difficult to sort of get a grasp on. I think it's a really good tech for new players, specifically because you may not be good at doing like this, but as long as you learn how to run and then cancel your run with a crouch, you're already acclimated to being in a crouching position, and that can be a good stepping stone to getting better at some of the other techs that you need to use. Crouch canceling is becoming more relevant, so you're going to start to implement that more. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, all that jazz. And yeah, if you guys have any recommendations, make sure to leave them in the comments, all that jazz. And I will see you guys in the next video.